What's up, everybody? My name's Kamahl. Welcome to another video. So, it's going to be Coffee with Kamahl once again, and we're going to be discussing Diablo 4. Before we even start the video, I want to make sure that you're aware that if you like the video, you can always like and subscribe. And also, there was a comment recently on one of the videos for the Diablo 4 video series that I did where it was essentially something along the lines of, dude, chill, the game's like 3 years out. First off, you're wrong, it's like 15 years out. Second off, the reason that people like myself make videos like this is so that things that we see that may be of concern can be addressed as early as possible, or anything that we have wrong with what we may have concerns about, those can be, addressed as well. Like, if I'm wrong about something, I would definitely prefer to know about it as early on as possible. And if something that I see as an issue is actually an issue, I would hope that, as a company, Blizzard would want to know as well to be able to get it fixed. But I digress. Just wanted to, preface the video with, yes, I do understand that the game is a very long ways out, but that doesn't mean that we should just hold our tongues and keep our mouths shut and just hope that Blizzard can do a good job without anyone telling them what they're doing right or wrong. All outside information is typically a good thing. So, let's talk about Diablo. First, I want to talk about the skills. What I saw from the skill system was Diablo 3. That's all I saw. Um, the skill system is set up identical. It even looks the exact same. Well, no, it doesn't look the exact same. They made the skill pane different, but the skills are set up the exact same as they are in Diablo 3, and that's very troubling to me. The reason that that's troubling is because the skill system in Diablo 3 doesn't allow for very versatile builds, if that makes sense. You're almost always pigeonholed into a specific type of build. Like, you have to use this ability with this ability, with this ability, and this ability, or you're playing your character wrong. And I don't like that with Diablo 3. That's actually one of my biggest problems with Diablo 3, is that there's real no big build diversity in the game. You have kind of a couple best in slot builds, and that's what you play if you want to be successful. Now, a lot of people make the claim that Diablo 2 is similar, and in a way it is. Now, if you want to optimize and like run Ubers, or like run the very highest level stuff in the game, then yes, of course there's going to be an optimal best in slot build. But that doesn't mean that it's the only build. I've ran so many different funky ass builds through hell difficulty that I can't even remember all of them. Um, there's many different builds that are potentially viable, but optimal is very different. And I feel like in Diablo 3, like there's an optimal, and then there's a what the hell are you doing? Are you a fucking idiot? Like, and that's with the skill system the way that it is in Diablo 4 being identical to Diablo 3, it makes me feel like we're going to be getting the exact same thing, which I don't think is going to be very conducive to a a deep engaged community. So, one of the things about Diablo 2 is the community aspect of the game. And one of the huge community aspects of the game is the PvP system and the funky build systems. Everybody loves a funky build. Everybody loves a goofy fucking far out build where, it's just like, wait. You're doing how much damage? On what kind of build? No way. I gotta see that shit. Like, wait. You're telling me you're doing 40,000 damage with a melee sorceress? And you have extremely high hit rate? No, you gotta show me this. I don't believe you. Like, that kind of shit, it's always entertaining. Like, always. And I don't I don't think that the way that the builds are in Diablo 3 and what they're appearing to be like in Diablo 4 are going to really work for anything like that. So that funky build aspect of the community likely won't be there, which is something that I think is necessary. Because you have a lot of people that are still to this day like theory crafting builds in Diablo 2 because it's fun. It's entertaining to do so. And I feel it's a really big missed opportunity to keep the skill system in Diablo 4 the same way that it was in Diablo 3. The next thing that I really want to address is I want to talk about the talents. So I feel basically the same way about the talent system. I don't think that the talent trees are really set up in any way that's going to allow diverse builds. It seems like they're very narrow in scope as to what you're going to want to get. And with Diablo 2, one of the best parts about that game was the fact that it had such a unique skill tree. The way that it was is you would unlock different breakpoints at different levels, but you also had to invest points into the tree. Now, it wasn't how they're doing their skill tree where like you have to invest 5 points into this skill to unlock this next node. That's a World of Warcraft thing that for some reason they're implementing a World of Warcraft style skill tree or talent tree into Diablo 4, but the Diablo 3 skill system into Diablo 4. And it doesn't really make much sense to me. The other thing is that they're introducing a completely new system for cause and effect item upgrades, but they're calling them rune words. Now, this is something that stuck out to me as moderately annoying because they're like, oh yeah, they're rune words, and I'm like, those aren't fucking rune words. Those are just cause and effect runes. That's very drastically different than a rune word. But I digress. I don't like the way that the runes are set up, to be completely honest. The way that it's set up is you're going to have some runes that will cause something to happen. You'll have a rune that causes the other rune to trigger when certain things happen. So, for instance, this is just an example. You could potentially have a rune that causes you. The cause is, every time you get stunned, right? So every time you get stunned, this will activate. And the effect could be every time you get stunned, you have an AoE burst of damage that, hits for 100 points and freezes things. That could potentially be it. It could be stuff like that. Which, it sounds cool on paper, but then you have to really think about the fact that there's really no diversity when it comes to systems like that. Because, there's going to be an obvious best in slot for everything. And when it comes down to it, their best in slot is hopefully going to be a whole bunch of different options, but with a system as narrow in sight as that, it doesn't really leave much or many options open. And with that, I guess the next thing that we can jump right into would be trading. So the way that trading is going to work is very confusing to me. The way that they've said that they're going to implement trading is some items can be traded indefinitely, some items can be traded just one time, and then some items are soul-bound. I think that's not a good idea. Um, I don't think it's a good idea in a game where loot is the key aspect and treasure hunting is the key aspect. I don't think that it's smart to have certain items that are completely untradeable. I think that's really silly in nature. So, I mean, let's say if the item that's untradeable is an extremely hard to get or, rare item. Not even hard to get, just an extremely rare item. But you already have one. Well, now you have two, and you can't do anything with it, and it's just garbage. That's a really shitty feeling. Like, imagine getting a fucking Akira's Guardian. I think it's called Kira's tier. It's a fucking diadem. So there's a fucking diadem in Diablo 2 that's like the best helm in the game, like best in slot by far for any lightning based character. Um, you get that, and it's soulbound to you, and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? It's just fucking vendor garbage. Like, that's a really shitty feeling. I don't think that should ever be the case, especially in a Diablo game. Like, that's just not good. Now, obviously, I think that there should be, the opportunities if you want to be a solo character. Like there's no offline play, which is another thing that's moderately confusing. There's no offline or single player mode, which is stupid. That's I think Path of Exile and Diablo 3, like both of these games, it confuses me that they don't have that, but whatever. Whatever. There's no single player mode, so there's no point in having, untradeable items. It's if the game is always online, then everything that you get should be tradable, especially like, and this is talking just about the Diablo style games, especially when you have such a massive emphasis on treasure hunting and gear systems. It's it's just a really bad feeling getting something that you can't do anything with. And that's one of the biggest killers of Diablo 3 is it's like, well, why does it matter that I do this if like I go out and treasure hunt and the only person that can benefit from this really is myself? Like, it's just not a good feeling. So yeah, there's that. I already went over the rune words. I don't think the rune system is going to be a good system. I don't think that the skill system. I'm really not. I don't think the game's going to be good. I wish that I could tell you differently. I wish that I could say that the game looked amazing, but one of the things that I will always stand by is I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, I'm going to tell you how I feel truthfully when I feel it. Um, and people can either like my channel for that or dislike me for that. I don't really care either way. Um, I integrity to me, my personal integrity is a lot more important. Oh shit, than money. Um, I don't really care. That guy was just completely immune. I don't really care too much about the opinions of others. What I do care about, though, is making sure that when I say something to my community, to my channel, to all you guys out there, it's the way that I really feel. I don't want you guys to think that I'm lying to you or I'm fucking pulling your arm or anything. So I'm really just, I don't have high hopes for Diablo 4. Now, am I going to play the game? Yes, of course I will. I'm going to fucking play Diablo Immortal when it comes out, at least to try it out. Even with how fucking irritating the game makes me, I'm still going to play it, of course. It's one of the major downsides to being a Blizzard shill is that I will always, always fucking play their games, even if I am very upset at the direction that they take sometimes. You know, just being who I am, being the longtime fan of Blizzard that I am, I really, it's like that shitty girlfriend that you keep going back to. You know, I know it's gonna be, God fucking damn it, I know it's gonna be shitty, and I know it's gonna end in disappointment, but I'm still gonna go back because, you know, maybe she's changed. I mean, I don't really know how else to explain it. I don't expect much from the game. I don't think it's gonna be very great. I just feel like it's Diablo 3.5. They realized that we wanted the druid, we wanted the talent trees, we wanted rune words, so they gave that to us. They made the graphics a little bit darker, and you know they're just shoving it out. And I really don't think that it's looking too promising. I hope that I'm wrong, and I hope that Blizzard is able to really prove me wrong. Like that's my biggest hope. I hope that Blizzard can prove me wrong. I don't think they will, but there's always a chance. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, remember like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Yeah, I'm out.